children of the sun. Children of the sun. Once came a sound from inside. Everyone got the sound of their heartbeat. Every man, every woman, every child. They guess the demons of imagination to the door. And I hope you are ready to dance the limits of the imagination and listen to the sound of your own heartbeat, because that is what we are all about here on Children of the Sun, broadcasting every Friday on WSTX AM 970. Today we're live on Facebook, WSTX Facebook, my Facebook, and Twitch TV as well. Want to welcome everyone to the program. Welcome to the weekend, because if you're hearing the sound of my voice, that means it is a Friday, and today is Friday, February 4th, 2022. We have someone who's planning to call in with an important community announcement, so I'm kind of ad-libbing right now, but I want to begin with a little bit of music. Why are your thoughts running so wild? Don't you know who walks beside you? Yeah. Don't you know that only love is true? Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Oh, wake up, wake up. You gotta wake up, wake up. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Remember not to forget to lie. You worry about the future, not the past. Don't you know who walks beside you? Beside you. Don't you know that only love is true? Remember you were born to fall, and when you started to fall, you had intention. And did I mention that this tension is only a dream? Life is not all that it seems. There's magic dancing in between endless dimensions. You keep up when you fall. I remember to call, but when they do go and you left the start till I catch up. But we'll patch up the cracks. Don't worry about the future, the past. This moment is all that you have. I know you remember your dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. I know you remember your dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Oh, wake up, wake up. You gotta wake up, wake up. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're
Okay, that was remember that was the official music video for the that was the official music video for the title cut off of Neda Boin's newest album, Remember You're Dreaming, featuring Mike Love. That title cut, and Neda Boin is going to be my guest for the next 2 hours here on Children of the Sun. Neda, how are you?
Oh, thank you so much, Ray. I'm doing good. I'm so happy to join you.
Where are you now? Where are you?
I'm right now in Rotterdam,
Oh, you're back home
the
then.
Netherlands. That's where I live.
You're
Yeah.
back home. Yeah. So you're you're from Holland,
Yes.
and I think you won the Rotterdam Music Award for your album, best album,
Yeah,
2019.
that's
Cool.
correct. My
Was
first
that
album.
was that The Light Has Come?
Yes, that's The Light Has Come. Yeah, that was the album that is completely inspired by Course in Miracles workbook lessons. All the lyrics come from Course in Miracles workbook lessons.
Well, yeah,
So,
that's an interesting story. I mean, let me just that's an interesting story, and I wanted to talk about like the effect of Course in Miracles on your music.
sure.
In the documentary about you, you talk about how you were um, in the on the Voice, the television music contest show, performing live in front of millions of people,
Yeah.
and you at home you were pulled by the navel towards the piano to write these songs based on the Course in Miracles workbook lessons.
Yeah.
And when you're back at the game show, the television show, performing other songs and thinking to yourself, I've got this whole album sitting home I could be singing about. So um, tell us about that, please. Because and give us a little bit of your early biography, because what I'm wondering is early in your life you're going to Africa for AIDS and India for child prostitution and women's rights, and so you're obviously connected to Source for a long time, and then you're performing on this television show, and you're already getting channelings basically for the Course in Miracles. How long were you studying the Course in Miracles prior to this? Is that have you always been wanting
Right.
to share love? Did it affect your
Right.
career?
Well, I think I was studying A Course in Miracles for about 3 years when those songs started to come through, as you mentioned. That this one day just it felt as if I was just pulled towards the piano, and yeah, I was studying a course already for 3 years, and I was a singer already professionally from since I was a teenager. Basically, I think my first like paid gig was when I was like 15 or so. So, and I've been working as a singer and a vocal teacher since then. Um, and never intending to sing about God or anything like that. So it was quite a shock for me when those songs started to come through, because I just saw you with your course book, you know, that A Course in Miracles is, it's not religious, but it has definitely this Christian terminology, and it uses the words as God and Son of God, Child of God, Holy Spirit, and all of these holy terms that I was very unfamiliar with and definitely didn't feel attracted to use in songs. So it was kind of shocking my and disturbing my identity as this pop singer, you could say.
Um, and so your latest album is called Remember You Are Dreaming.
Yes, it's called Remember You're Dreaming. I can't see you anymore though. Is there a possibility that I can see you? It feels weird for
Oh,
me to talk
I
to
just
myself.
put it on solo layout for the audience. But yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. Because now I'm like talking to
Okay, sorry.
myself and I love it. Okay, yeah,
All
this feels better.
right.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Your latest album is Remember You Are Dreaming.
Remember You're Dreaming. Yes, again, very deeply inspired by A Course in Miracles, because I feel the message of the Course is now just so much part of me. And it feels, yeah, that I just can't really create anything that doesn't resonate with those teachings that I find to be so true. You know, that I think the essence is that yeah, we are still innocent, we are still whole, we're still complete, that our being is pure love, that God is pure love. So yeah, I don't think I could create something now that opposes those teachings and that I find so much to be true, because I also believe that when I extend these teachings through music, they grow stronger in my own mind as well. Every time I sing them, I'm reminded of it. So I think first and foremost, all of these songs, and especially this last album, Remember You Dreaming, I also made a book out of it. Um, they
And the
really
book is an
describe.
album.
Sorry?
The album is like a book if they get a
Yeah,
physical
it's like
copy.
they go together. So it's music. So it's on Spotify and everywhere else. But I love visuals. So I created a book that goes with the music, that has beautiful arts, that has mystical poems, that has beautiful course quotes, and just the most beautiful pieces of art from people all over the world. Um, and so this album is really like a collection of songs that describe my own journey from darkness to light, and I'm just being very honest and open about it, and I think that that is what attracts a lot of people to this album, because I think right now people are really longing for this transparency and feeling heard and feeling like they're not walking alone during the Dark Night of the Soul, which is also a song on my album, Dark Night of the Soul. And From Darkness to Light is another title on the album. So I think yeah, it says something about what this album is about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's important to remark on the fact that your first album, "The Light Has Come," you basically wrote it. You felt pulled to the piano. Course in Miracles was open at a part, and you wrote the first song, music, lyrics, melody, everything like 30 minutes. Next
Yeah,
night, same thing happened again. Next night, same thing happened again. So you wound up writing an entire album in like a week, which is like incredibly fast because it was just all coming
yeah,
like a download.
download for
And
sure. Yeah,
this, and so you're trying to share the that people are love itself, and this album, your latest album, Remember You're Dreaming, was more personal. You're talking about your own dark night of the soul,
yeah,
like your how you had to be purified to become a clear
for
channel for
sure,
music, and you want people to understand and to feel and to hear the that they are only love. um,
for sure.
So, and can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like
Yeah,
how
that's a beautiful.
what is it that um, you want to communicate with your music to people? What do you want them, especially now with the pandemic and everyone's stuck at home, and
Hmm.
there's like a lot of, I don't know what it's like in Holland, but it's like a lot of people in fear wearing masks. I mean,
Sure. Yeah,
we just and we're just stressed out. So how
right.
what do you want to get across to people with your music?
Well, I think on this latest album, there's different songs that I wrote also in different states of minds. Right, there are songs that I really wrote out of being in that darkness and that sort of depression myself, and that are more prayers. Like for instance, the first single that I released, Shadows and Snakes. It's really like this prayer of like help me to see this differently and help to transform my dark thoughts into love, help me see love instead of fear. So it's really this prayer. And then there's a song, I give it all to you, which is again like this sort of like release prayer of I give you my past, I give you my pain, my sadness, my belief in loss, my regrets, all of this I hand over to you, as in you, capital Y, you, God, or love, spirit. So there's those songs that I think are very helpful for people that are finding themselves in those dark times as well, that they know like, okay, they can listen to it and just um, feel what wants to be felt, and have the support, the musical support that they could, I think, really use in those times. And then there just are a few more like happy songs of moments where I just fully remembered that we are all love, and they are joyful songs. Like Wherever I Go, the one, I think it's one of the last songs on the album, or You Are the Light. That is actually the last song on the album, You Are the Light. And it's such a joyful, happy song, especially if you listen to the album version. It has like a band, and it's very joyful, very cheerful. Um, so yeah, I guess the album is there to really support us during dark times, and to help us remember they were dreaming, right? That's the title of the album. Help us remember who we truly are. And yeah, I really hope my music can support in that journey back home, that what A Course in Miracles calls a journey without distance, because we never truly left home. We're already home. We're already complete. Like one of the songs, I don't know if you can hear my piano as well. Can you hear the piano?
Yes, yes, we sure do.
There's one song, and the chorus goes like this. Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. It's within yourself. You are the star that lights the sky. Look within your heart. You don't need to go that far. Yeah, so that song is called "Look Within Your Heart," and it's inspired by a line from A Course in Miracles that says, "Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now." And before that, it says, "Enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all." So I think the Course is just constantly pointing towards, we're already complete, we're already whole, and enlightenment is not something that you'll eventually sort of like reach, and something that is outside of you. It's something that is already within us, and it's just waiting basically to be recognized again, to be accepted. Um,
Well, like you said, the light has come, not will come,
exactly.
not will come
Exactly.
based on if we do this or that or the other thing. The light
Yeah.
has come. It's just up to us to acknowledge, to accept it. Are you going to accept it? Is that so? In you, is that part of your work with what? I mean, you're not only touring. I think you're touring. You're physically touring the world, and then you also perform over the internet. You do like workshops with David Hoffmeister, the Course in Miracles teacher, Gary Renard, the
Mhm.
author of Disappearance of the Universe. I think, and soon you're going to be performing at the Miracles Circle of Atonement conference or something. It's called something like that.
Yep.
Uh,
Online
and so
concert.
you're like um, performing music like concert style, but you also do like you're sharing the light one on one through your voice liberation work as
Yeah.
well. And like,
Yeah.
how does that? What's the connection between? I mean, it feels like the voice liberation is like you, brother to brother or sister to brother. Course in Miracles terminology, brother to brother, about love and forgiveness, mainly forgiveness. It's like people are
Mhm.
learning to forgive. Okay. But talk a little bit about the voice liberation training that you do.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, I started actually myself with voice liberation when I was studying my bachelor's of music on the Conservatory of Music here in Rotterdam. And it was the second year of this school where I just felt completely lost, and I felt I didn't have any joy anymore in singing, because it all felt so focused on performing, like performing in the sense of doing it perfectly, right, and not singing from this joyful place that I felt as a kid, where it was just all joy, and I just so naturally wanted to express myself through my voice. But here now in the school, it was all very, yeah, disciplined and high standard. And it's like only 5 people out of like hundreds of people get into this school. So it's sort of like very prestigious and all of that. But I just felt like all joy was lost in the music by making it in this form of this school and this institution, so I even doubted, like, do I actually want to continue with this? Do I want to quit? And then magically, out of the air came this Voice Liberation Academy, this 2 years program. And I decided to do it next to the Conservatory of Music. And my desire was really to be more free myself on stage. So I really had no interest in becoming a voice liberation teacher. I was just focused on, no, I'm a singer, and I'm just doing this to, get more free on stage, basically. And so the first year of the Voice Liberation Academy was all about freeing up your own voice and finding your own inner voice, which is, funnily enough, also the meaning of my name, Neda, in Farsi, in Persian. My mom is Persian. Neda means inner voice. And so the first year was all about opening up your own inner voice and finding it and expressing it. And I remember the first time that I got this homework assignment from this Voice Liberation Academy, and I just started crying because it just felt so beautiful. Like I never cried receiving homework before, and for the first time, it felt like I received an assignment that was for my soul, that I felt like, oh, this is good for me, instead of that I just have to do something because the teacher tells me to do it. At that time, I was still dealing with lots of authority issues as well. But so this was the first time that it was like, oh yeah, it's something for me, and I totally felt it. But fast forward a little bit, it just did so much for me, especially learning to express and get in touch with my unconscious mind and the darkness that was there, because I used to be a very happy, joyful kid, and I kind of had that sort of sunshine place in the family of like, oh, Neda is the little sunshine. And I think I took that role happily. But at the same time, there was also, of course, like how we take these roles in our family, right? And that it's just one side of you. Like if you get that role of being the sunshine of the house, there's also thunder, and there's also rain, and there's also, this darkness that will not come up when we are fulfilling that role of being the sunshine, right? So there was a lot of darkness and a lot of sadness that I didn't give myself space for to feel that. And voice liberation opened that up dramatically, So after the first year of voice liberation, had this huge epiphany where I just all of a sudden saw it, how I was just never daring to cry in front of other people when it was something emotional, or I would always run up to my room and cry in secret. And so from then on, bit by bit, I started to become a little bit more transparent, and I started to allow up some more of that darkness, and that has been extremely helpful for what A Course in Miracles is teaching, of course, because that is what it's teaching, is that the darkness needs to come up in order for it to be healed. Like if it all remains below the surface, all of those dark projections and all of those grievances and all of our traumas and everything, if it's pushed under, it cannot be transformed. And so it was still very much just for me, and feeling so much more free on stage, and feeling like I really got in touch so much more with my emotions, and my songs got more honest and deeper and transparent. But I still didn't feel at all to teach any of this, really. Even we had to do an internship for this education, and I didn't even do it because I don't know, I was always very good to talk teachers out of things if I didn't feel it was something for me. So I remember I didn't even do it. I was just not really interested. But it was only, you mentioned David Hoffmeister. It was a few years ago when David Hoffmeister was doing a month-long retreat, Tabula Rasa, he names it, in Utah, in the States. And I read about it, and I just instantly knew, like, it was just this deep sense of, I need to teach voice liberation there. And it was just so clear. And even though I never really, I think I had my voice liberation certificate or degree already for maybe like 3 years or so. And I hadn't really done any workshops, maybe one or two, but not really, and no retreats or anything like that. But I felt it so deeply, like I have to teach voice liberation in his retreat. And so I sent David a message, and I told him about this inspiration and about what voice liberation is and what it did for me. And he felt it too, and he was like, "Yeah, I feel it, and come on over." And he sent a ticket for me, and not much longer, there I was in this retreat, and I didn't even know they were actually shooting a documentary. And now this voice liberation is actually a very big and beautiful part of this documentary. It's called "Take Me Home," and my song that is on my first album is also the soundtrack for this movie. It's also called "Take Me Home."
Oh,
But
wow,
there,
that's great. And
yeah,
that's sort of like you're just following the promptings of spirit, never knowing from
yeah,
what
following.
you're gonna say yes to or where you're gonna be,
Yeah,
or
listen and follow. Like sometimes it's just so clear that I just can't deny it, because I feel like, yeah, that inner voice knows so much better than me, what is best for me and what is best for everybody. So yeah, that's so in that retreat, that was the first time where I experienced how easily actually it is for me to step back and let the spirit teach through me in that setting. And I think because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, so it made it so much easier for me, to step back. And then seeing all of these beautiful sessions pop up, and these beautiful healings occurring, and that really open up my mind to, this is actually really interesting, and being so healing for myself, right? Because I never see myself as like, oh, I'm the teacher and I'm now going to teach all of you. No, I feel like I need this as much as you need this. So let's come together and join for that purpose of healing. And yeah, as I said, like I got so comfortable with stepping aside and let the spirit teach through me when I give these retreats or workshops, because I see what happens every time that I do, that I don't even want to interfere with that, so where maybe in daily life I tend to still find that sometimes difficult, and I want to, be nosy and and sort of like be in control. I more and more now start to learn to let that go in like everything, like even cooking, or everything. But with teaching, yeah, it was always very easy for me, like I said, because I just felt lost, trusting upon my own strength.
what is your favorite passage or lesson from the Course in Miracles?
Oh man, I feel like every page is my favorite page. But something that comes to mind now strongly, and that I also made a song out of on my first album, is the line, "God doesn't forgive because he has never condemned." I think that's such a powerful one. So I think that first part of like, God doesn't forgive, people would be like, huh?
Oh,
Like,
God does right. God doesn't forgive because
yeah,
he's never condemned.
people that don't know the Course, they'll hear that first part, God doesn't forgive, and they'll be like, what? Like that is so radical, and that is so there's so much opposite to what we learned about God, right?
What,
Like
what,
God is
what
a
is the
forgiving
name?
God.
What's the name of the song?
That song is called God is the Love in Which I Forgive. Yeah, God is the Love in Which I Forgive.
Um,
I can play it live for you, you know?
oh, would you like to? That would be great.
Sure. I haven't played it in a while, so I hope I know all the chords. But
I can play it off. I can play like the album YouTube edition too, with the if you with the other.
sure, if you prefer that, I'm cool with everything. That has the beautiful strings in it. Whatever you feel.
Okay, let me do that then.
Okay.
I mean,
Beautiful. Then I can rest.
yeah. That's good. All right. All right. Let's see.
God doesn't forgive, for he is never condemned. Forgiveness is the great need of this world. It is a world of illusions. Fear condemns and love forgives. It honors what fear is proud of. Returning the mind to God. Ooh, God is the love. God is the love in which I forgive myself. God is the love. God is the love in which I forgive myself. God is the love, God is the love, God is the love in which I forgive. No fear is possible in the mind, beloved of God. There's no need to attack, 'cause love is forgiving me. Forgiveness is the means by which I will recognize my innocence. Oh, God is the love. God is the love in which I forgive myself. God is the love, God is the love in which I forgive myself. God is the love, God is the love, God is the love in which I forgive. This is reflecting God's love on earth. It will bring me near enough to heaven that the love of God can reach out to me and raise me to my I forgive myself? Oh, God is the love. In which I forgive myself. God is the love, God is the love, God is the love in which I forgive.
That was beautiful, and that is beautiful, and so that's what you're trying to get the word out to people, that God is love in which they forgive. And that was off your first album, The Light Is
Yeah,
Come. No, right?
yeah, that's on my
Yeah,
first album.
Light Is Come. And on your new album, Remember You Are Dreaming, you've got what's some of your favorite songs on that? Like Shadows and Snakes, or
Ooh.
uh,
Favorite songs. I really love listening to I Give It All to You. I always really love that because it feels very, I don't know, I always like the sort of slow songs and the strings. And my mom is playing on it as well. She's an amazing string player, violin player. And so she's,
oh wow, yeah, yeah, this new album, yeah, you do have quite a few guests with you. You've got Mike Love,
yeah,
one of the songs with Diva Premal.
Deva Permal and Alexia Challen is on it as well. Yeah, they're
And your mother,
amazing. Sorry?
and your mom.
And my mom is on it, and the Holy Spirit is doing a feature on every song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, but it kind of depends on what mood I am, but I kind of always love listening to I Give It All to You. And sometimes, when I want to get that more sort of like happy flavor, I love Wherever I Go. It's like a very short, maybe you can play it later. It's like more happy, has a nice beat, nice backing vocals, very gospel-y, but just very joyful. And it's such a beautiful reminder of, wherever I go, the love of God or the love of Spirit goes with me.
What's the name of that one?
Wherever I go, it's song number. Are you on Spotify as well? Because I don't think my new album is on YouTube yet.
No. I had some things. Let's see, well. Um, did you say "Take Me Home"?
Take Me Home is on my first album.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also a very beautiful song.
Well,
but
I'm kind of curious about like how you wound up, and what your experiences were going to um, Ghana. I'm sorry, Africa, with the HIV epidemic, and then India, and then hitchhiking to South Africa from Holland with the camera crew following you. How did all that come about? What was that like?
Well, that was really amazing, and I think a very important part of my own lessons, and also how my music and my life and just my state of mind, I think, formed itself. Those journeys were a very big part of it, I feel. And it started with when I was 17. There was this contest of, I think it was organized by the Stop AIDS Now organization. And they had this music contest where you had to write a song that had HIV or AIDS, or both, as its theme. And then I wrote a song. It was a reggae song, actually. So I only written 2 reggae songs in my life. The Remember You Dreaming track that you just played, my title song of this album, and this song about HIV and AIDS when I was 17. And the song was called 7 Seconds. I can't remember how it all went exactly, but I do remember that in the chorus, it was actually kind of, how would you call it? Like, I don't know, like it was pretty intense. Like it was a very fun, music wise, a very fun and cheerful, joyful song. But the content of it in the chorus, I counted till seven. Um, and then the message was, every 7 seconds, someone gets infected by HIV. So that chorus, every time I sang that chorus, is like, oh wow, at this time while you're singing this, another person somewhere in the world is infected with HIV at this moment. And we eventually won the contest, and we got to go to Kenya, to Nairobi. And so there we worked with 10 Dutch kids and 10 Kenyan kids. So it was sort of this exchange between us. So a group of youngsters. It was really cool. And I love that they did that, that it's not just sort of like the Dutch people going to Africa and doing this work. It was really also for us, like they're teaching us. And this group of youngsters, both from Kenya and from Holland, mixing together, and like in 2 or 3 days, very quickly together, we put a show together. So everybody
Wow.
had their own songs and their own dance parts and their own little bits, that got them into this project. But now we put it all together in just a few days. And then with that show, we just started touring all over Kenya, even in the Maasai village. That was like, I think, up until now, my most amazing performance I ever did, was in the Maasai tribe. We performed this show. It was just so amazing. And the Maasai tribe, after this, also performed for us, and they did their beautiful jumping traditional dance, and it was just amazing. But yeah, that trip really opened up my mind to what it's like to use music as a tool rather than, like an end goal. Because here I really got to learn music as a way to communicate a message, because we performed in parts of Kenya and parts of Africa where HIV was still such a big taboo. But because of this music and the dance and the theater that we brought into those areas, we got to openly talk about it with the community, and those taboos were broken by the music and by the art forms, and that really amazed me, and I was so excited to feel the power of music and that sort of universal language, and how much better music can translate a message sometimes and get into someone's heart rather than words can just reach your mind so often. And so
Well,
that
it's like that's what you're doing. You're like you're reaching out to people's heart with your
yeah,
music. I mean, that's why you did so well on The Voice. The audience was connecting with you. You were connecting with the audience, and you're doing like regular, just songs that like the Beatles yesterday, songs that people know. You were singing other people's songs because that's part of the performance aspect,
yeah,
but you're connecting to them. And then you're connecting with the people that you're talking to about HIV/AIDS in Africa. You're connecting with them heart to
yeah,
heart through your music. And now you've just taken it to the next level, connecting to people heart to heart about Course in Miracles. And actually not even about quote unquote Course in Miracles, but what the Course in Miracles wants people to know in their heart, that they're
yeah,
beloved of God, forgiven, that they were never condemned, that every
exactly.
moment is a choice, choosing for God or ego, love or fear, um, heaven or hell. And you're
Yeah,
like,
that's beautiful. Yeah, because it's not about the book, right? You say that so beautifully. It's really about what it's teaching. That's why a course is, Course in Miracles is not like any. It's not a religion, and it doesn't call to go door by door and say, have you heard about this book? Or it's nobody has to know if they don't, of course, if somebody asks about it, like we're now, you're asking me about it, and I love sharing about it because the message is so close to my heart. But really it's about putting it to practice yourself, which is hard sometimes, right? And like the spiritual ego can get so much in there of feeling like, oh, I'm so spiritual and I'm so this, but put it to practice, right? Like actually be an example of that peace, be an example of that love. And that's not always easy. But as A Course in Miracles says, to teach is to demonstrate, right? To teach is to demonstrate. So, and we do that everywhere. I don't do that just here on this radio show, but every time, every moment is a teaching opportunity for everyone. Not only people that think, oh, I'm not a teacher. No, you're always teaching. Everyone is always teaching. And you're either teaching the thought system of the ego that says that you're guilty, everyone else is guilty. God is an angry, crazy guy that is out to get you. You're either teaching that, or you're teaching the thought system of love, of the Holy Spirit, of truth, of knowing that who you truly are is pure love, pure light, and that nothing, no illusions can stand up to that, right? Like the ego cannot prevail against the Holy Spirit, like against love. Even though in dreams, in this illusion, it might seem like the ego has real power. But in truth, when you have a nightmare, the nightmare can be so scary and so devastating. But when you wake up, nothing of that nightmare has any real effect. Like however scary it was, you wake up and there you are in bed and all the monsters are gone, So yeah, we're always teaching either the one thought system of the ego or the thought system of love. And we can recognize very, very easily what we're teaching by checking in how we're feeling. It's actually so easy. The moment that we feel anything else but love or joy, it's just a clear sign that we caught into the ego trap, and we're believing in the dream, we're believing in the illusion, we're believing in guilt, in separation. And that's not a sin that needs to be punished, because the ego is all about punishment, about guilt, about sin, of fear and retaliation. Forgetting love is not a sin to be punished. It's a mistake that needs to be corrected. Simply, it's as simple as that. And all it's asking is, let's choose again. You chose for the ego. That's your free will. You can choose again. You can now say like, okay, it really hurts. Like I say in the documentary, right? We can stay in the dark, but it hurts.
Right.
It hurts. It hurts to stay there. And the Holy Spirit will never interfere with us wanting to stay in the dark, right? Because it's not trying to sort of like dominate over you, or because it knows that you're in truth, you cannot even be in the dark, right? So all that the Course of Miracles, that the teachings are just trying to do is make you see how miserable your life is in the dark, and showing you like, okay, but there is another way. And forgiveness, true forgiveness, the way that A Course in Miracles is teaching it, is that other way. Forgiveness is a way out of illusions. And it's the tool that helps heal all of our relationships. Because A Course in Miracles, you could also say is a course in how to heal our relationships, because the relationships are the place where all of the darkness can so easily come up to the surface. And just look at your spouse or your children, or your in-laws, or your co-workers. And I wouldn't believe if there isn't any one of those that can trigger you like hell. Like they have the professional skills to take out all of what is underneath of the surface. And for the ego, this is all ground for putting the blame outside and just finding allies of like, look how crazy it is, and look what he did again, or look what she did, and isn't she this and that, or oh, I'm really gonna never speak to this person again because they're so and so. But we'll keep bumping into these people, whether it's literally these people or whether they have a different body or maybe in a different life. We'll keep running into these people because they're actually our teachers and they're here to show us our unconscious wounds. And as long as we're keep on running away from them, we're going to be stuck in this dream. It's going to loop until we're ready to face these projections instead of running away from them. And with the help of forgiveness, we can face those projections with the light of truth and actually shining away our silly illusions about it. Yeah, and it sounds easier than it is. It's simple, but it's not easy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think relationships are key. Like Jean-Paul Sartre said, hell is other people. So
Yeah.
we just keep having the same
Oh, that's good.
grouped experience with the same
Yeah.
people in this lifetime or different lifetimes, or it could be different, the same kind of person in a different form. We just
Yeah.
keep looping through these relationships until we learn the lesson. And like you say, it's simple, but it's not easy because like it's ultimately just a simple choice, but we don't want to choose for God and love. The ego wants to keep choosing for fear
Yeah.
and and
Yeah, because the ego existence is dependent on us choosing for fear. The ego is literally a fearful belief. So the moment that we're actually choosing against fear and fully allowing God back into our mind and love back into our mind, the ego ceases to exist. So it's kind of it's not very weird that the ego gets very vicious once it starts to smell sort of like an awakening coming up, because it knows that it will cease to exist the moment that we fully accept the love and the light that we truly are. Because the ego and the spirit and the Holy Spirit, they cannot coexist. They are literally like darkness and light. You can't have darkness and light at the same time in the same place. It's either or. Um, so yeah, they don't know of each other. They don't have a relationship. It's only our mind that is seemingly split, that we now seem to be in this state where it seems as though we do know both. Like we know the ego and we know the Holy Spirit. Um, it's very crazy. We're like, I love like David Hoffmeister sometimes every week does these movie gatherings, and a while ago he did this movie gathering about this what's it called, words on the bathroom mirror or something like that, and it's about this boy that is schizophrenic. And David's commentary, I loved it so much. He's like, yeah, we're all schizophrenic, all of us here, like projecting all of these different bodies and thinking that we're this body, we're all super cuckoo, if you're thinking that you're here in this world. Yeah, the mind is sick and it needs to be healed. So I always, yeah, find that very humbling to remember, like, okay, yeah, I'm also pretty crazy. but but yeah, with gentleness, yeah, and just the Holy Spirit meets us where we're at, right? It's like, okay, you believe in this crazy dream and you believe that you're this body and this person. Now let's just use it, so then it becomes a classroom to unwind from this ego belief, and like an onion that needs to be peeled layer by layer, and so it can the process can also be gentle. It doesn't have to be all of a sudden like so radical or something. But yeah, at times it can also feel intense. But I think we get whatever we're ready to face and whatever we're ready to heal.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think one of the things is you were talking earlier about how it's not like a religion or a spirituality where you go around knocking on doors and say, "Hey, have you heard about the Course in Miracles?" Because it's sort of like a lot of churches have Bible studies or study groups, so it is like a study group, but it's kind of intended as a study group of one. You
Yeah.
work on yourself. You are the teacher and you are the student. You work
Yeah.
on yourself. But then if you are actually making the choice for the Holy Spirit and not for the ego, as you go about in your daily life without even mentioning Course in Miracles, Holy Spirit, or ego, you in how you react and relate and respond to other people, you are teaching them that they are not a body, that the light has
Yeah.
come, that they are, that love is all they are, and even if they don't know what's going on, like they know they can. You're giving them permission to be better, and then when you teach them that, you're teaching your own mind that, and so like if you
Mm.
teach them if somebody is yelling at you and upset with you and you get upset back and start yelling back, then you are teaching them fear, and then you're hurting your own mind,
You're
teaching your
learning
own.
it yourself. Yeah, what you teach is what you strengthen in your own mind. Yeah, that's so beautiful what you're saying. And yeah, of course, the ego will join in everything. So also the Course in Miracles, so even though the course is not set up, of course, as this religion or yeah, what you teach is what you learn, and it's really about demonstrating the truth. Of course, the ego joins in, and you can just go to some Course in Miracles Facebook groups and see how these so-called Course in Miracles students are at each other and quoting and putting
Throwing quotes
like
at each other.
hitting people over the head with the book, right?
Right.
And using workbook lessons like, for instance, sickness is a defense against the truth, and somebody is sick and they'll tell them like, you're doing it wrong, don't you know that sickness is a defense against the truth? And these kinds of things, the ego will join in with everything, or maybe somebody is very hurt and you'll now just tell them, oh, don't you know that this is just a dream? Why are you feeling hurt? It's all an illusion. Don't cry because your husband just left you. Why are you crying? It's all an illusion. Like, these things are not helpful, because they're not loving, and maybe in the very truth they're true, but unless you fully live that and fully, like, also remember you're dreaming, that's sort of like an end experience, something that you need to experience, and that is not something you can just say as this sort of like remedy, because then you're just denying your experience. And what A Course in Miracles is saying, it's an unworthy form of denial. It's very unhelpful to deny your emotions and your experiences, because that's just a way of the ego to not have to look at it. And that's what we're doing with voice liberation, is we're looking at it. We're using the voice to go inside the mind and to actually look at the obstacles that are in our mind and that are blocking the light of truth within us. And so I have a few events coming up. If there's people listening now that feel like I want to experience that, I have an online voice liberation session coming up. That is totally free donations, but you're fully welcome to come. And it's the next one is February 20th, and it's online, so nobody can hear you. You can be in your little bubble, and it's beautiful. Every time I'm just so amazed by the sessions and the people that join in from all over the world. So yeah, that we go within, and instead of what the ego tries to do, like hide and look away, ignore, deny, the voice liberation the voice is so helpful in helping us helping us really go within, because the voice is so honest and so transparent, and it just doesn't lie. It will instantly bring up what needs to be brought up to the light. So it's very powerful, and if you never experienced it, I'd say like just give it a try, especially on the online versions, because you can just turn off your camera, turn off your microphone, and you're very it's very safe. But it's definitely worth a try.
And Nedaboin.com is where people can go to find out
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, nedaboin.com, or you can check me on Instagram. I'm not really so present on Facebook, but I do have a Facebook. But Instagram, I'm more present. And of course, yeah, my music is on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. YouTube. The book that goes with the album can only be ordered from my website, nedaboin.com.
So that's Nedaboin.com.
Yeah, that's it.
I put it up in the chats, and I'll also put it up on my own stuff later after I get out of here, get back
Oh,
home.
thank you.
And so that's the Voice Liberation, February 20th.
February 20th. And I actually have, you mentioned it already, I have a concert coming up that is also online, where I will share these Course in Miracles songs and songs from my new album. And that is, at the top of my head, that is the 13th of February. So I think that's next week, Sunday. That's totally free and everybody can come. And it's an hour and a half. I forget what time. I think for Eastern time, I think it's like 11-ish, but I'm not sure. But you can check it on my website as well, nedaboin.com.
Neda Boin. Hey, so Neda, listen. We've got about 30 minutes left. And I don't know
Yes.
if you know this or not, but we're here as Children of the Sun, broadcast out of the beautiful Caribbean, the beautiful turquoise waters of the Caribbean.
Yeah, where are you actually? Where are you?
St. Croix. St. Croix,
Wow.
Virgin Islands, in the middle of the Caribbean. So we have a little bit of Rasta and reggae here on St. Croix.
Beautiful.
So your song, "Remember You're Dreaming."
Yeah.
I'd like to give it like a showcase, not just use it to fill time for a technical difficulty. I wasn't even able to listen to it. I was doing all kinds of other stuff. So we've got. Here's what I'd like to do. We got 30 minutes, and I know you. I would like it. I want to know I want to do what you want to do. So you could play your. You you're all set to play the piano. I can tell you were expecting to play. You could play that. You could play the piano. Or you could do something, maybe like a voice liberation exercise that everyone can participate in, like a short little example. I have also lined up. I have "I Am Not a Body" from your first album, which I like, and I have "I Give It All to You" and "From Darkness to Light." I could do
Yeah.
one or both of those, and so what would you recommend that we do now? What would you like to do?
Ray, I'm so open for whatever you feel. Like, I don't feel any preference. So run the show, whatever you feel. If it's a song, if it's a voice liberation, if it's something live, if it's something audio, I'm so cool with it. I'm just enjoying my time here with you. So whatever it is, I'm good.
I'm going to play the "Remember You're Dreaming," the title cut off of your first album. I'm sorry, the title cut off of your new album.
Beautiful. And later I'll send you the radio version. Then you have it. If you can play it on your radio there. It's a little bit shorter, and you can then you'll have it for your future shows. I'll send it to you.
Cool, thank you. All right, let me get this started.
What the? This man is about to make mincemeat of his man parts. Ouch!
Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna go to share screen. All right, and I'm gonna mute both of us.
Take a deep breath, sit down, my child. Why are your thoughts running so wild? Don't you know who walks beside you? Yeah. Don't you know that only love is true? Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Oh, wake up. You gotta wake up. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Remember not to forget to laugh. To worry about the future, nor the past. But don't you know who walks beside you? Beside you. Don't you know that only love is true? Remember you were born to fit all, and when you started to fall, you had intention. And did I mention that this tension is only a dream? Life is not all that it seems. There's magic dancing in between endless dimensions. If you keep up when you fall, I remember to call. But what did you go turn and you left the stall till I catch up? But we'll patch up the cracks. Don't worry about the future, the past. This moment is all that you have. I know you remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. I know you remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Oh, wake up. You gotta wake up. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Mm-hmm. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Yeah. Nothing real can be threatened. Yeah. Love is all that there is. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Oh, remember you're dreaming. Oh, wake up. You gotta wake up. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Remember you're dreaming. Yeah. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Yeah. It's but a dream. It ain't nothing what it seems. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming. Remember you're dreaming.
That was great.
Hey, where was that? So where was that studio?
That was in Victoria, British Columbia. That's where I recorded the album with Joby Baker, the producer. Amazing producer. And Mike Love recorded that part of the music video in his own home. He's now he.
Oh, I thought you fooled me. I thought you guys were all together in the same.
No. I haven't physically met him. Have met him yet. So these days it's just all the internet.
Yeah.
We can connect everywhere. No, so he was born and raised in Hawaii, but he just recently moved to Washington on the
Washington State?
West Coast. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And what about The Light Has Come? Where did the studio work on that take place at?
That was all in Holland. Yeah, that was recorded it here. Yeah, recorded everything here in Rotterdam.
Well, that's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Let's see. And so you recorded the. What do you? Let me do. Let's see. So that was Remember You're Dreaming. I thought I had another question about that, but I can't recall what it was. I think let me try. Let me play I Give It All to You, so people have another idea about the new album. What's on there? Remember You're Dreaming.
Nice.
Take my past and all my regrets. Take all my choices. I give it all to you. Take my thoughts, my fear of loss. Take all that I've been through. Yes, I give it all to you. 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 Take all my wishes and all my desires. Take all my sadness. I give it all to you. Take all my beliefs, 'cause I want to be what you would have me be, so I give it all to you. 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 All of my past except its beauty is gone. Nothing is left but a blessing. Oh, and I give my future to the one who knows best. Yeah, I give it all to you. 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 to you. Oh, I give it all to you. 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 Oh, I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you.
That was a beautiful song.
Yeah, I always love that song. It's so soothing and calming. I love it.
It's soothing.
We're a community of over 19,000 doctors. We practice at all top 20 U.S. hospitals.
Hang on.
We're the #1 provider of doctors in the first year U.S. residencies. St. George.
All right, and so, do you want to give? I think I'd like to do. We're about out of time, so let me have you, maybe if you want, give people like an idea of what voice liberation is about, because I know it's about people are going to be going to be coming on your event on February 20th.
Mm-hmm.
They can be they don't have to be on with you or on the microphone or on the camera, but they're just like following along, and you're having them do exercises that liberate their voice. So do we have enough time?
Sure. Well, it's a little bit short to go in like a full exercise, but something like really simple. It's simple, but it's very profound actually if you practice it. It's just this concept of giving sound to your emotions, because we're so not used anymore to using our voice to like express sounds, well, when we were little kids and babies, it was so natural to cry and scream and let it out, and now we learn to block it and just press everything down. So something that like a little exercise, and I can just play a piano just to support it a little bit, but you can do this, without the piano, just from your home. And maybe, for the ones that are listening, they can join right now. And you can just close your eyes for a moment. And you can do this every morning or every night, or whenever you feel, there's an emotion coming up that feels difficult, or even joyful. You can also do it with joyful emotions. And you can just scan your body and just breathe. Just relax and just become aware of what is going on inside of you without placing any judgment on it. Nothing needs to be different, but just observing like what's going on, what thoughts am I having, what feelings am I having at this moment. And what we can then do is inhale into whatever feeling or thought is present for you. Like feel it, where is it in your body? And then you inhale into that feeling. And you exhale on whatever sound wants to come up and out. So I can just join with you. So you inhale into whatever feels present in your body. And it can just come out like very relaxed. Don't think of it that it needs to be beautiful or that it needs to sound like you're singing. It's not about singing, it's about sound.
Folks listening in, join in with us wherever you are.
So just inhale on whatever is present for you in a moment. If it's just joy, that's perfect as well. And you can just give a sound to that joy, and you can remember that sound, for next time when you're sad, you can maybe sing that tone again for yourself. So just connect with what is present and just let out whatever sound wants to come out. from that emotion or from that feeling. And just relax your jaw, relax your mouth. And just keep tuning in, like, where do you feel sensation in your body? And then, as if you're giving your voice over to that sensation, to that feeling, just like be curious of like, okay, what does that sound like? What wants to come out from that sadness or joy, or maybe even bodily pain? You know, even if you have physical pain, you can just hand over your voice to that pain and just make a sound, release it through your voice. And you can imagine that you're releasing it right into the hands of the spirits, into the hands of love, light. Maybe you see a beautiful altar, or, you know, a symbol for the Holy Spirit that is just receiving this sound and replacing whatever you handed over with pure joy, pure light, pure love. So you inhale into the emotion and you exhale on whatever sound wants to come out of you. Sometimes it just helps by starting with sighs, you know. In the voice liberation workshops, I always start first with sighs, and you slowly expand them to sounds. Just let your voice come out in whatever way it wants to come out. Maybe in the beginning it sounds very soft or very like scratchy, like maybe you haven't used it in a long time. And just give it space, welcome it, whatever way it wants to come up and out, you know. See if you can fully welcome it without judging it. And if there is a judgment, then that's fine too. And then you can just see in your next exhale what that judgment sound like. You know, what sound wants that judgment be expressed, and just give it space. Nothing needs to go away, nothing needs to be different. Just give it space with your voice. And you often see that by actually welcoming it, it will automatically disappear, but it just wants to be seen, it wants to be loved, it wants to be heard. Let's let out a few big sighs. Maybe you like to shake it out a bit, shake with your body or your head. Beautiful.
I feel so much more peaceful now. Thank you. So
Ah,
that's
beautiful,
like
Ray.
that's like an introductory voice liberation. You can people on February 20th, they go to Neda, Nedaboin, nedaboin.com and join that for free. And it's going to be like that's just the beginning of it, and at the end of it, they'll be
Yeah, it's going to be a
liberated.
2 hour long session. So we're going deep. We're
Cool,
going,
cool. All
yeah.
right, so Ned, I want so nedaboin.com. I guess that's kind of like the best place to go. And
Yeah.
Instagram. Do you know what is your Instagram name?
Also Neda Boin. So just
Neda Boin.
Instagram.com/Neda_Boin, or just go to Instagram and type in my name, Neda Boin, and you'll find me.
All right, so that's how people can connect with you. And I've got you up on all the StreamYard stuff, and I'll put you up on my stuff later today. Well, actually, most of it's already there. So when I was pre-announcing the show, thank you for doing the show. Sorry about the technical difficulties we had getting off. I think it was a good show, though. I think we got a lot of.
Yeah, I don't feel like anything else like we had that we didn't have enough time. It was perfect. So
Thank you for coming on. Let's see. I think what I'll do is I'll um, play a little bit, not all of it, but I'm going to play some of "I Am Not a Body" as we exit the show, and so I'm going to be muting our microphones and everything, and we'll be exiting. So I wanted to take this time now to say thank you very much, Neda.
thank
Appreciate
you,
it,
Ray.
and thank you for sharing your music and your love with the world, with me, and with my audience here in the U.S.
It was
Virgin
such
Islands.
a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Ray. Really loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. So we're gonna exit with "I Am Not a Body" from Neda Boin's first album, "The Light Has Come."
I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free.
Thank you for joining us on this very special edition of Children of the Sun here on WSJFM 970. I'm your host, Ray Bratcher, and I'm here every Friday, 12:30 to 2:30, talking about positive energy from a fifth dimensional, metaphysical, spiritual point of
God is what created me. of God proclaimed me as his son. The love of God within me sets me free. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. God's blessing shines upon me from within my heart where He abides. I need more sight to hear, and every soul melts away.